Okay, so I am back for another night of recording and having a discussion about personal healing. Hopefully, it'll help me. Maybe it'll help some other people. We'll see how it all turns out. Clearly, I've got a better camera. My apologies for the video from earlier. It's wasn't the best quality, but it was what I could do. And if the message was just meant for me, fantastic. If anybody else ever watches this and gets something out of it, I'll take that too. So, as usual, I am going to start with Pema Chodron's Compassion Cards, Teachings for Awakening the Heart in Everyday Life. And I am going to shuffle. I realized after I recorded yesterday that I was still a little bit all over the place with some of my thoughts, and that'll probably get better over time, and if it doesn't, that's also okay. I'm just going to say what comes to me. I'm shuffling the cards right now, and what I was thinking about was that I didn't really discuss what processes or what procedures or what practices might work for someone in their journey of healing in terms of letting go of negative emotions like shame. I talked about shame in the last video. So I thought maybe I would talk a little bit about that because I briefly mentioned that I felt like, based on the millions of people that watch manifestation videos on YouTube, including myself, manifesting things was something of great interest. And that could be manifesting money, it could be manifesting love, it could be manifesting happiness, all sorts of manifestation. So I was talking about releasing emotions, and I thought, but how do you do that? How did I do that? How am I doing that? Because I don't think it's really done now, and I'm not sure that it's ever really done, just because we're all humans. Oops. Okay. So 2 cards came out, but I am going to take the card that's on top so that I stick to my practice of reading one per recording. So this says, regard all dharmas as dreams, and it's card number 2. Regard all dharmas as dreams. The commentary says, whatever you experience in your life, pain, pleasure, heat, cold, or anything else, is like something happening in a dream. Although you might think things are very solid, they are like passing memory. You can experience this open, unfixated quality in sitting meditation. All that arises in your mind, hate, love, and the rest, is not solid. Although the experience can get extremely vivid, it is just a product of your mind. Nothing solid is really happening. That's beautiful. So I think for me that this card in particular is, as usual, directly related to what we're talking about in terms of healing. So as humans, if we are mindful and conscious and on this journey in a way to improve ourselves, then one of those things I think is releasing negativity, releasing emotions, releasing baggage, which I talked about yesterday, and that's something that I'm dealing with, and I think a lot of people are probably dealing with it and probably have questions about how to do that. As part of that baggage, I think that's a blockage to our manifestation and to whatever it is that we want to see in our external reality. In terms of this commentary, it is talking about directly considering the things that we feel, the negativity, the lower vibrations, like hate. And actually, this is talking about different states that arise in us in general, not just negative emotions, but love, hate, probably anger, shame, like we were talking about yesterday, those things are not real. They're things that we experience in our mind. And if we recognize that it's a passing state, if we consider it in a dreamlike state, then I think that it makes it a little bit easier to let go. I also think that's a practice. I think that that's something that takes time to master, and it's probably part of this lifetime journey that we're on. But it's certainly something to consider and something to work on. In terms of doing that, I think that a lot of people talk about manifestation and letting go and the process of releasing baggage, but that's been very difficult for me. How does a person do that? And one way that people talk about is journaling. There could be other things like meditation. This card talks about meditation and the importance of relaxing oneself, gaining clarity, becoming quiet, becoming still, so that we can actually hear ourselves, hear what the inner voice is saying. And I think that leads to being our authentic self, being true to ourselves, being honest, which is also something that I mentioned in an earlier video. So, in terms of doing that, one of the practices I mentioned already was journaling. If people like to write, if that's something that you can do or that you feel led to do, I think that that might be healthy and helpful to get some of these emotions out and to begin to address what it is that's happening for ourselves. But if you're like me, you may like to write and may even want to write, but may not feel like you have time, may not feel like you have energy. And so one other way might be audio recording. So getting your phone, doing the and recording yourself talking, and then if you decide to keep it and listen to it just to hear what you said, that's fine. If you decide to delete it immediately following, then that's also fine. Meditation was a practice that I mentioned. I'm also trying to work on my meditation practices and sitting in stillness for a little bit every day or most days. That has also been challenging for me. I imagine it's challenging for other people. And one of the things that I've heard people say was to try to still your mind, but if there's chatter, don't get angry about it. If you're still hearing that voice inside your head or you're distracted, then that's really okay. Just acknowledge the fact that you are thinking something and then try to let it pass. And be nice to yourself about it. Be kind to yourself. Be compassionate with yourself. Also, we don't have to start off meditating for an hour a day, or, we're not monks. Most of us aren't anyway. I'm not a monk, so let me just say that. So maybe you start out with 30 seconds of silence, a minute of silence, 5 minutes of silence, and then just work your way up. I know that it's difficult for us with the constant barrage of information that we have. Our culture is not really conducive to quiet or silence, and it also, if I might, doesn't even really give us permission to do that. And so we have to give ourselves permission to do that. Also, if we have families, children, spouses, loved ones, responsibilities, that can also be difficult. And so if you have to find a space in your home or your dwelling, whatever that might be, then try to do that. If it's in the shower, on the toilet, in the bathroom, in the closet, if you have to lock yourself in a cubbyhole for 5 minutes, then do that. But try to find a space, even if it's just for a few minutes. And I think it's difficult. And if it doesn't happen every day, oh well. If it happens once a week, if it happens once a month to get started, that's fine. It's probably better than what we were doing before. That's how I feel. I'm just trying to do the best I can every day. And also in terms of manifestation and in terms of this channel's name, I have consistently been working on the language that I use. And so rather than saying, and this is a conscious effort, this isn't something that happens all the time or that I'm always aware of, but when I am aware of it, I try or I change my vocabulary so that everything I say is a representation of the present. So I am meditating. I am practicing meditation. I am healing. I am kind. I am compassionate. I am wealthy. I am rich. I am loved. I am beautiful. I am worthy. I am lovable. I am funny. I am fun. All of those things are present tense, in the moment, right now. This is what I am. Even if I don't believe it, even if we don't believe it, say it anyway. Even if you cry when you're saying it, even if it sounds crazy when you're saying it, I am, I am, I am, we are, we are, we are, whatever you have to say, fake it till you make it, keep it moving. And I think eventually we'll start to believe that, we'll start to feel it. And as those feelings are becoming crisper and more real, they will bring us into alignment with the things that we desire. And if we believe that we already have the things that we want, we don't desire them anymore. And that's how they show up. So if you tell yourself, I'm happy, and if you feel happy, you're already happy. So you're not looking for happiness anymore. If you tell yourself, I am beautiful, and you believe it and you feel beautiful, you're not looking for beauty anymore. If I feel worthy, and that's something that I'm working on, I imagine that other people are working on that. And if I feel worthy, then I'm not looking for worth outside of myself. And all of those things that I am manifesting in my life, I see them in front of me. And that also goes with the releasing of those negative emotions. I am free. I am happy. I am ascending. I am whatever it is. That is, or even when we're talking about love or being lovable, that's not the same as hate. I am joyful. I am happy. All of those things. Those states of being are the things that we as humans are looking for. And so it's also the opposite, or the contrast, or the other side of the coin from hate and anger. And I think those affirmations help us to release those emotions. The last thing that I'll say about a practice that is super easy, that really helped me and is constantly helping me, because I'm still in the middle of all of this process, and I don't even know if I'm in the middle. Maybe I'm at the beginning. Maybe I'm near the end. Who knows? We'll all find out together. Anyway, one of the other things is binaural beats. I don't know if people do this, but this was really, really helpful for me. I turn on YouTube and go to binaural beats or pure tone frequencies, and there are pure tone frequencies for everything. It's a sound or music that plays at a particular vibration or a particular rate, and it helps to move us into whatever state it is that we're looking for. So they have binaural beats for stress release. They have binaural beats for releasing anger. They have binaural beats for healing chakras. They have pure tones for healing chakras. I like pure tones. Everybody doesn't like that, but those are helpful for me. But they have binaural beats for putting children to sleep, for healing headaches, pure tones for pain relief, and all kinds of things. I would just put it in YouTube, search for it, and when you find something that resonates with you, you can listen to it while you're sleeping. That's another one, for sleep deprivation, or for helping you get to sleep or calm yourself into sleep. You put on your headset, or you just listen to it in the house, and it calms everything down. And that's easy. You can do that in the car. I do that in the car. I do that on my cell phone. When I have a dog. When I'm walking my dog, I'll listen to it. And it just depends on whatever state it is that I'm trying to move into or trying to move out of. And I think that those tones are also an easy way for people to move into a space that they're looking for, or to release something that they're looking to release. So I think that covers what I wanted to talk about tonight. And hopefully this is helpful to someone. anybody ever listens, and if it's just for me, then that's okay too, because this is the journey to healing. And I will end, because I've already done the I am affirmations, by just wishing light, love, peace, prosperity, abundance in all ways, and joy, total wellness, and abundance in all things to everyone and all things in the universe.